One particular type of function you're going to find yourself writing quite a bit is the function that returns a true or false value as you're trying to determine the type of an object, or whether an object is what you think it is or something else. These functions that return true or false are called predicate functions. And we're going to look at a couple examples in this lesson. Let's start with a simple example where we determine if a number is even or odd. The way we determine if a number is even or odd is to take the number modulus 2, and if the resulting value is equal to 0, then the number is even, otherwise the number is odd. So we'll begin by writing the return type of our function, which will be bool. All predicate functions have a Boolean return value, true or false. The name of our function will be called isEven. We often use the little prefix is before the name of the function when we're defining predicate functions. Our parameter is going to be just an integer value. We'll call it number. This is going to be a one-line function because we don't have to do anything but return the result of taking the number modulus 2 and determining if it's equal to 0 or not. So we'll say number mod 2 equals 0 and return that value. And that'll be either true or false. All right, so let's write a little program to test the function. We'll prompt the user to enter a number. We'll get that value into num. We'll write if isEven num, cout num is even, end L, else cout num is odd. We could have put an else if and did not isEven num, but that just seems like, more confusing code than necessary, because if the number isn't even, then it has to be odd. All right, so let's build and run the program and test it with a couple of values. So we'll try 124 as an even number, and it says 124 is even. So that worked great. Let's run it again. Let's try with 1023, and it says that's odd, so it looks like our function works. So that's an example of a predicate function, a very simple one that just determines if a number is even or odd. Let's look at another example, just a little bit more difficult, but not too much. One of the things we want to do with textual information is determine if a particular letter is a vowel or a consonant. Just like with even or odd, we really only have to write one function. In this case, we'll write the predicate function isVal, since there's quite a few fewer vowels than there are consonants. So we'll begin the function definition again with the keyword bool. The name of our function is going to be isVal, and we're going to present it the parameter a char letter. So this is really a one-line program also. And this is going to be a series of relational expressions ORed together if the letter is a or if the letter is an O, or if the letter is an E, and so on and so forth. So we're going to say if. And we'll need two sets of parentheses. If letter equals A, or letter equals E, or letter equals I. We'll drop down to the next line to continue, or letter equals O, or letter equals U. Return true, else return false. Close the function. Let's comment out our code in int main we use to determine if a number is even, and we'll get a letter from the user and see if it's a vowel or not. So we're going to say char letter. We'll use a different word, LTR, instead of the actual word letter. Cout, enter a letter, cin. If isVal letter. We actually don't need this outer parentheses, so let's just take that out. Cout. Oops, and I also see I made another mistake right here. Caught it in time. is a vowel, end L, else cout letter is a consonant. Close the line. Okay. Let's build and run and test and see if it works. Start off with a non-vowel. Let's try G. G is a consonant. That's good. Let's try it again. We'll do I. I is a vowel. I won't take you through the whole test, but you should, again, test it with all the vowels to make sure that it works, and test it with 2 or 3 consonants to make sure that those are caught also. So to review, a predicate function is a function that returns a Boolean value, either true or false. A lot of times you use them when you're just trying to make a determination of the type of some object. Is it an even number? Is it a letter? When we get to the exercises at the end of this chapter, I'll give the opportunity to work with some predicate functions again.